Hey everyone, this is Nitro. So with the new week, and actually new month as well, it's time for another Nitro setup video. But before I begin following the standard format, there's a few things I want to mention first. Okay, the very first thing is that if you're a member of the Rocky Valley server, my guild, Snow, is recruiting because we've had a few inactive players that we're looking to replace. So we currently have 2 open slots. I think there's 2 more slots we can potentially open up. So once again, if you're playing on Rocky Valley and you're looking for a guild, feel free to join us. We do clear the Purgatory level Guild Wars twice per week. Alright, so that's the first thing. The second thing I want to mention is that the Strategist Squad member Kong is currently doing a survey on the state of the Langrisser mobile community on the international server. So I'll have a link to that survey in the video description. If you have some time and you want to fill it out, feel free to. Kong is just gathering some data out of interest to see just how far people have reached on their accounts in general and so on. It does ask some questions about, let's say, the power level of your characters and so on. You can get that information actually from the ranking page mostly. So from the ranking page, you can see your strongest 15 characters, right? Your strongest 5 characters, their power, as well as the power of all your heroes, stuff like that. So a lot of the information it asks is actually from that from the ranking page. Okay, so that's the second thing I wanted to mention. And the third thing I want to mention at the start of this video is that currently, because it's the new month, you're able to do your, for example, your SSR accessory box purchase and stuff like that, since it's the new month after all, as well as your gambles for the week. I strongly urge you to hold back until Thursday. And the reason I suggest you hold back till Thursday is because on Wednesday evening, the Age of Innovation banner ends and expires on June the 3rd. Once this banner has expired, right, so once Thursday arrives, you can get these items from normal summoning banners or elsewhere in the game, right? So once this banner is over, and the update has been implemented, you can get those new items. So waiting until Thursday to do your equipment summons and armor summons and headgear summons and the SSR accessory purchase may get you those items as a result. Okay, so those are the 3 things I want to mention right now. And with those points covered, let's now move on to talk about the usual changes. And as always, the very first thing I'm going to cover in this particular video is the results of my equipment farming last week. And last week was actually brutal in terms of equipment farming, okay? But first, I'll talk about the crystal and voucher status. So the week before, I had 5 vouchers and 5,714 crystals on hand. Currently, I actually only have 8 vouchers and 1,849 crystals. The reason for the massive drop though is because I did 112 summons on the equipment banner last week, right? So when you break this down, effectively what I had last week was a 71 voucher increase, as well as 44 additional vouchers added with the 1849 crystals equals 5,721 crystals. So that kind of balance, that's more or less equal to the 5,714 I had previously. So there was a huge increase in terms of the voucher count, if you will, right? And that heavily came from spending, right? Echoes of light spendings. So a huge part of that was, as I said, echoes of light spendings, finishing up events. You get around 2,500 crystals every week anyways, on top of other purchases. So yeah, I used it all up, long story short. And it did not go well, as I covered in the summoning video that I released. Regardless, other than that, so it's going to be interesting this week because of the Ares Maya banner. But hopefully, in the first place, I only plan to get 1 copy of Ares anyways. I'm not going to go for the 3 copies to get a 6-star Ares like some people are doing. So we'll see how that one goes. Hopefully, it'll pay off. But yeah, fingers crossed. So other than that, equipment farm results, as I mentioned, was also very, very bad last week. I got 5 items, 5 SSRs last week, okay? So, I should mention though, from the Lodos War event, right, my weapon ended up being Blue Moon and stuff like that. Everything else was garbage. And from the Timeless Trials last week, however, I did get a Forest Necklace. So that's my first one. And yeah, I mean, I don't have a use for it really, but at least I have one now. Other than that, the gambles I did on one of the videos as well, and it was mostly Ord, right? Last but not least, in terms of items that I got last week, although there were only 5, a bunch of them also had to be kept, right? For example, I got a Peacemaker and Odin's Battle Helm on Monday, so I kept the Odin's Battle Helm since it levels up another one to level 30, right? So my 4th, now have a Odin's Battle Helm on the 4th one that's going to reach level 30, right? I'm going to feed any Odin's Battle Helms to finish up this 4th one. After that, I don't think I'm going to need any more than 4 Odin's Battle Helms. So after that, the rest will be turned into ore. But I can use 2 more at least. Right. Tuesday, I got a joint last night, which is ore, of course. And then I got nothing on Wednesday and Thursday. Keep in mind that we've had 3 runs for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Actually, for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So this is not 2 dailies. It's 3 dailies for all of these days. Okay. But despite having 3 dailies for these days, I still had a terrible time getting SSRs. I got an SSR Arcane Battle Garb on Friday. I got an SSR Assault Headgear on Saturday. Didn't get anything on Sunday. And the random accessory box purchases, I did 2 of them. Didn't get anything out of that either. So, bizarrely, a very, very dry week for SSR items. Especially since this is a time where we have +1 dragon runs. But it is what it is. Sometimes the luck just doesn't favor you. So in total, this was really just 5 SSRs. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Which is much lower than, what I consider the average of around 8. And what I did the previous week, which was 10. Bizarre. Yeah. But sometimes that's just what happens with RNG. Alright, second thing. Echoes of Light. Everyone has been asking me about that, okay? My Echoes of Light is currently at 271 out of 278, so I've pretty much timed this perfectly, right? It means that tomorrow I'm going to do the $7 purchase, or rather, not the $7 purchase. Tomorrow I am going to purchase the daily discount gift pack for 7 days, right? Or that might have to be on Wednesday. I think it has to be on Wednesday. In any case, though, so I'm going to purchase this, right, and get enough money, just enough spendings to hit the 278, literally. So I will have the skins for the Echoes of Light, right? And as I mentioned, the skins I'm definitely going to pick is Deedlit and Akaya, right? Waifus! Waifu skins for the win. So, yeah, that will definitely be done, and we'll see how it goes from there. Oh, one other thing I should mention is because the Apex playoffs has finished, in the mail, I can now pick up my reward as a top 128 player. So that would be 2,500 crystals, right? 6 Arena Mastery Stone selectable packs, 3 Super Enchant gift packs. I'm going to probably turn all of this into skill mostly, because I desperately need more skill on a whole bunch of characters. And then, of course, the Season 3 Top 128 banner. Just as a funny note, if you don't pick this up, right, because it expires, right, in 2 days, in 12 hours. But if you don't pick it up, what will happen is when you type, you actually don't have this banner here, right? So, for example, Fox has a Season 3 Top 256 banner. I currently don't have a banner because I didn't pick it up. So just an interesting point. So make sure if you've gotten to the top 256, pick this up. So I'm going to put the 2,500 vouchers to good use because it helped me recover to be able to summon for the Maya and Ares banner. I'm probably going to get the Strategist Squad rewards, which will also add more crystals. And I'm going to ask for 20 more vouchers trading in points for 20 more vouchers. So between all of that, right, 20 more vouchers, having around 6,000 crystals, I should have roughly 100 summons, give or take. So we'll see how what that 100 summons gets me on the Ares Maya banner. Right? I don't really have any savings for it, but fingers crossed that I get Ares. That's all I'm really hoping for. One copy of Ares. I don't even need Maya. I just want Ares. Okay. So, next up is... I guess I'll cover 2 heroes that some people requested that I talk about. And there were some of the heroes that I didn't really cover in the other videos. So one of them will be Shafaniel, and the other will be Sonya. Okay. So Shafaniel is 6 stars for me, 7105 power. Her equipment, well, you can see her instat here, 537 plus 406, blah blah blah. I'm not going to go over these stats in general. In terms of the class masteries, I have everything but Bishop, so she is lacking a bit of hit points and magic defense, no big deal. 48 hit points, 8 magic defense, shouldn't really change anything. Okay. She does have her first awakening done, right? And she doesn't have her second awakening yet. So with the first awakening, I currently have her bring Goddess Glow, Heaven Sanction, and Demolish at this time. You know. Sometimes you may switch it out for Cleanse, so that she can single target strike properly, but usually this is my skill selection for Shafaniel. And soldiers, because Shafaniel is in the Holy class, I bring Shrine Maidens. So that way she will not take fixed damage before combat begins, right? At least not from the Twilight Star. And to make sure she doesn't take fixed damage in general, I have her equipped with a Meditation Ring. So this Meditation Ring provides 8% hit points out of the maximum 10, 8% int, and actually a 4% crit increase. It's a really, really good enchant, okay? Her enchants are all magic, because in large part, I didn't have very many people who need magic enchant, first of all. And second, she doesn't need clocks, right? So really, her choice of enchant is either breeze or magic. Right? And I actually had a ton of magic scrolls built up. So I decided to give her the magic enchant for maximum damage on her AoE attacks. Is it better than breeze? Honestly, probably not. But at the very least, this method of building Shafaniel allows Shafaniel to always be guarded by Landius. Right? So I can't have Shafaniel run far ahead of Landius, for example. I don't know. It's okay. Breeze might have been honestly a better enchant, but it is what it is. So other than the Meditation Ring, her Caconsis Crown has 11% 11% hit points and 3% int, with a bit of defense increase, right? Tenyo's Robe has 8% defense, 10% hit points, and 10% magic defense. And finally, the Miracle Staff has a maximum 15% int increase with another 8 int and 2% hit points. So you can see that she has a lot of hit point increases and a lot of int increases. Right? 15% plus another 3% plus another 8%. What is that in total? 15 plus 11. So 26% int increase with I guess an extra 8 int. So that's what my Shafaniel has, and I'm quite happy with her being built the way she is. In terms of the class mastery enchants, I currently have pretty much standard, right? Int, hit points, defense, right? There is hit points, int, and here, and skill. And this skill should probably be replaced with defense. It'll be a change I'll probably make once I actually have more defense scrolls, which I'm currently lacking. Weapon is int, hit points, and skill. And of course, the accessories section is skill, hit points, and int, right? As for the arena masteries, int, defense, reduce crit damage, hit points, and skill. So, yeah, not much else to say. Overall, with all of this skill increase, right? There's 99 plus 39. So that would be a skill of, let's see, 99 plus 39, 138, and 138 plus 78 from the Arena Mastery puts her skill currently at 216, which is really, really good, right? at least Omega definitely cannot ignore the Shrine Maidens and direct attacks Shafaniel. So that's my Shafaniel, very, very built up, right? And Sonya is not as built up. You can see her total power is 6,038. I don't have her built, for maximum offense right now. And she currently is running a Rough Sea enchant rather than, let's say, Breeze or whatnot, because I don't have Breeze enchants, right? In terms of enchants, I really do think Full Moon is probably her best enchant overall. But similarly, I don't really have any Full Moon scrolls. So I'm just doing a kind of, this is what can work for her right now. So I just rolled a whole bunch of the Rough Sea scrolls, right? And I rolled a bunch, not the maximum amount. That's why this one offers the maximum attack increase and hit point increase. Arcane Battle Garb offers a bit of attack, defense, and hit points. Fury of Tyr has hit points and some attack, right? Just a few rolls. And the Slayer's Emblem, I haven't bothered to re-roll yet. I'm still considering if I'm going to keep Sonya like this long term or if I'm going to change her to Full Moon, right? But keep in mind that if I'm trying to roll for both attack and int, that's going to take a terrifying number of enchants scrolls. So I don't know if I really want to do it, especially since I'm not even sure if I'm going to use Sonya in the first place, frankly speaking. Sonya-wise, because of the way she works with her 3C, Chaos Helix, she's going to want maximum int and maximum attack, right? And as a result, for every roll location, you're going to want attack and int. So right now, I've done attack, int, and skill on every single location because I expect her to get one-shotted after her attack, right? At least there's no real way for Sonya to escape after she strikes. So, and finally, Arena Mastery would be attack, int, and I just have pure attack focus, right? Attack, int, crit chance increase, crit damage increase, and skill. Alright, so once again, if there's more characters you want me to cover that were not covered in the other videos, let me know. I may just, cover 2 per week in one of these videos. Alright, so next up is going to be about any events. Well, right now there's no events running. I suppose you can say there's still the Glorious Annals of Lodos that's still available because it ends actually this week, right? Wednesday. So if you haven't finished up this event just yet, you can still have until Wednesday to finish it. I finished it before last week, really. So not really going to talk about that event. And the next thing to mention would be shard farming. I mean, I've already gone over my shard farming plans in other videos, so I'm not going to do that again. But we currently have 18 Gates of Fate, and I've currently been splitting them into partly into Deedlit, partly into Yusuke, partly into Hiei, of course. So those are the 3 characters I'm grinding right now. And other than the 3 characters I'm grinding, the remaining 9 runs, I put 4 runs into Diharto to get him to 100 out of 150, right? So I will have him at 100 shards out of 150 very, very soon. And other than Diharto, I put runs into Gizarov. So that would be 7 runs, 4 runs into Diharto, 3 runs into Gizarov, and then the last 2 runs were into unlocking characters whose Gates of Fate I have not yet done. So by unlocking characters like that, I'm earning more crystals and vouchers. So for example, I finished up Ashram. So I've done all 5 of his Gates of Fate, right? I've done 4 Gates of Fate of Kurama. Okay. And I actually can't do his final Gate of Fate. Interestingly enough. Because in order to do this Gate of Fate, to get the feats with it, that is, you win within 3 rounds and place only 2 heroes on the battlefield, in order to do that properly, you need Kurama to actually have his fixed damage AoE skill. So you're going to need 2 runestones into him to get that to work properly. Which means you need this skill, Rose Whip Thorn Wheel. Because, as long as enemies move within the 4 block radius of him, he will do fixed damage to the enemies. So I don't have this skill because I went down the other branch first. So right now I can't do that Gate of Fate. If you had gone down this branch directly and had this skill, you would have actually been fine too. But since I went down the other branch initially, I'm kind of stuck on its Gate of Fate, unfortunately. So that was a bit of a mistake in class choice, but it is what it is. So I'm not going to be able to finish off his Gate of Fate, and rather than doing that Gate of Fate, I'll probably just unlock someone else's first Gate of Fate, right? So I still have around, I think, 5 runs into this. I'm probably going to do all of Parn's Gates of Fate, right? All 5 of his. And then the last run will just probably go into any character to do their first Gate of Fate. Because by doing the first Gate of Fate, at the very least, you still can get, you know, crystals and 1 voucher that way. But I still have a lot of characters whose Gates of Fate are not yet unlocked, right? There's, you know, Pyrotest, there's Rainforest, there's Virash, there's Akaya, there's Alfred, there is Brenda, and there's also Kurabara. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 characters whose Gate of Fate I still have to do. You know, 7 times 5 would be 35 runs. That's a lot of runs to do. So hopefully we'll get another one of these Gates of Fate events, because I have lots of characters who needs their Gate of Fates done. And every time I do them, I get more crystals and vouchers. Alright, moving on from there then. Gambles will not be done in this video, right? As I already mentioned, I am going to wait until Thursday, once again. And other than that, just thinking. In terms of needed SSRs, I still need a, you know, it really hasn't changed. Weapon-wise, I still need the Mimir's War Axe. I still need a second Uller's Bow. I still need more Extreme Magic Bows, right? Armor-wise, I really need more Lacerites. That's really the main thing. Everything else, I don't really care about anymore. You know, there's like, yes, for example, more Tenuous Robes would be an improvement for my party, but I don't need them at the end of the day. You can very easily use Galaxy Cloaks and be okay. Tenuous Robes are just an improvement, but they're not a must-have. Headgear wise, right, it's really just ideally just more Tenuous headdresses, you know, and maybe another Soul Stealer headdress, right? So it's just really those two. I have enough King's Crowns, I feel, and all the other ones are, I believe the rest are just exclusives. So there's just 2 that I need in headgear. And accessory wise, it continues to be Juggler Plushie, Swordsmith Medal, and the Apex Boots. Still missing all 3, right? Well, I have Swordsmith Medals, but I desperately need more, right? I have a teddy bear, but I need more. I actually need Juggler Plushies. And Apex Boots, I actually don't need anymore. It would be nice to get one, but I don't need it. So it's really just these 2 that I'm targeting. Although I'm going to need more Twilight Stars as well. Oh my god. So accessories is where I'm going to be struggling for sure. Alright. Memory shards in the store. I have a whole bunch on hand right now. 12,742. I'm going to definitely purchase 2 SSR accessories. And my plan now is to just use Memory Essence only for SSR accessories. Okay. The Rune Stones I really don't need anymore. I'm sitting on 5, right? And yeah. The next thing would be the Apex Arena apparently does not start this week. Okay, just a heads up. So Apex Arena is not starting this weekend, so we're not going to have any Apex matches on the 6th and the 7th. Apparently it's starting next week. So the 13th and the 14th is when Season 4 will start for us, right? It says right here. The next season starts in 9 days. And in terms of gear changes, you know, I'm really actually struggling to figure out who should get the Twilight Star. Okay, for example, the reason I put so much money into that, I put so many vouchers into trying to get more Twilight Stars is because I realized the Heartle really needs one, right? I realized that other than Diharto needing one, so does Illustrial, right? Illustrial wants a Twilight Star as well. A third character that could use the Twilight Star is actually Zerida. Okay, Zerida with a Twilight Star could definitely break Last Rites on Listel, for example, unless Listel brought Undead Knights. So you would actually want that on Zerida. If you can break Last Rites, you have a pretty darn good chance of Zerida killing Listel, for example. So that's the third character that I considered needing one. You know, Omega may be the only one who doesn't need one out of my assassins, simply because Omega, there are certain characters he should be targeting and certain characters he shouldn't, and Omega relies on using Dark Elf snipers in general for more damage. So that's why I felt that Omega was the one character that didn't particularly need it out of my assassins. But you can see that that's 3 assassins that preferably want a Twilight Star right there. And if there's any other characters you think that might do single target strikes on flyers and need fixed damage beforehand, they might also want Twilight Stars. So that's why I tried to gamble and failed. It drives me crazy because so many people did like 70 or 80 summons and got like 3 or 4 Twilight Stars. So I'm pretty jealous there. Oh well. What can you do? I already committed 200 vouchers into it. I have nothing left to spare. I really need to use what remaining things I have left on the Ares Maya banner at this point. So luck just did not favor me there. Equipment banners in general seem to hate me, as I previously mentioned. So after that is just the training grounds. Is there any changes to my training grounds? Well, I got one additional upgrade into it. So now my Holy Training Ground finally has 70% attack increase. So that makes it 2 training grounds with 70% attack increase now. Holy and Demon and Archer and Assassin. Right? Flyer and Aquatic actually got one upgrade as well. So this one is now at 68% out of the maximum 70. All I'm lacking is 50 flyer manuals, which is actually a lot. And it's so much that I'm actually not willing to do the flyer training. I'm not really willing to farm Rocky. So I'm not planning to upgrade this last 2% anytime soon. Because I actually don't really need the 2 SSR items that Rocky gives, which is the Crazy Shorts and the Pretty Sprays. At least I don't need them right now. Maybe when I need them, I'll start farming Rocky, but right now there's other items I need. So rather than that, I'm currently very much focusing on finishing up my cavalry training ground, and I'm thinking that not just upgrading the attack and finishing this attack, but I think I'm going to actually fully upgrade this training ground. So all the defense stats, all the hit point stats, and with the full upgrade, I would also have to upgrade both Bone Dinos and Templar Knights. Right? So there's 2 more soldiers I want to level up here, and a whole bunch of upgrades. Yeah. So a lot of upgrades to do. After that, so when that is done, I'm probably going to start looking into either choosing one of the 2, Infantry or Lancer. I haven't decided yet. That's a pretty tough choice for me, right? And these 2 training grounds, I'm probably going to actually focus on hit points, defense, and magic defense rather than attack initially. So, because when you use these training grounds, you're using it for a different soldier, and you're using these soldiers to survive, right? So you're going to be using things like Guardian Infantry, for example, for survival purposes. You're going to be using, I don't know, Masked Maids, you're going to use Highland Warriors, and all of these soldiers in the first place, you use them because they can tank a hit that, let's say, your Holy and Demon training ground cannot, right? And it's the same thing for Lancer training ground. You're using it to tank, which would be Crystal Molders, Treant Guardians, you know, whatever. Stone Colossus for Juggler in particular, for example, right? But to use all of these soldiers, you're going to need upgraded hit points and defense and magic defense. So, works in progress, haven't really decided. It's not going to happen anytime soon because the cavalry training ground is going to take me a long time to upgrade. And that's pretty much everything that I want to cover in this video. So, yeah, I mean, once again, I'm just upgrading to do to be, I guess, better in Apex Arena, or at least maintain my Apex Arena rank. I don't expect to be able to challenge anyone who got into like the top 4, I suppose. Although I might have a chance against Chatten, okay? But definitely no chance against True God, no chance against, Royally, Zensin, Method, no chance against all of these guys. But yeah. So, alright. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you found this video useful to you overall. And on that note, Nitro out.